Here's another great Christmas story for us by one of my all-time favorite authors, Kate DiCamillo. She's written A Very Mercy Christmas, and if you're familiar with the Mercy Watson series, you know that this is a very lovable pig, and it's illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. Kate DiCamillo, A Very Mercy Christmas. Stella Endicott felt joyful. She felt like something miraculous might happen. She wanted to sing.
"Let's go caroling,"
Stella said to her brother Frank.
"You can't decide to go caroling on the spur of the moment,"
said Frank.
"You need to have a plan. Where do you intend to go? Whom will you sing to?"
"Never mind,"
said Stella. Frank was not good at spontaneity. The Watsons, however, who lived 2 doors over, excelled at spur-of-the-momentness. Stella went down Deckawoo Drive and rang their doorbell.
"Would you and Mr. Watson like to go caroling with me?" said Stella. "Well, right now, Mr. Watson is very involved in attempting to make a fruitcake, and things have gotten the tiniest bit out of hand. Maybe Mercy would like to go with you?"
"Can Mercy sing?" said Stella.
"Oh, she loves to be sung too," said Mrs. Watson.
A loud bang came from the kitchen.
"Mrs. Watson!"
shouted Mr. Watson.
"Oh, actually," said Mrs. Watson, "it would be very helpful if you took Mercy with you." Oh.
"I feel joyful," Stella said to Mercy as they walked together down the sidewalk. "I feel like something miraculous could happen."
"Oink,"
said Mercy. She kicked up her heels.
"Let's go see the Lincoln sisters," said Stella.
Unfortunately, Eugenia Lincoln, who was terrible at all things spontaneous, answered the door.
Stella said, "I was wondering if you and Baby Lincoln wanted to go caroling with me. Maybe you could play the accordion while we sing."
"Caroling?"
said Eugenia Lincoln.
"Yes," said Stella. "Caroling is where you go walking around and singing Christmas songs to cheer people up."
Eugenia looked down at Mercy and then back up at Stella.
"You want me to go caroling with a pig?"
"Who's there?"
Baby Lincoln called from inside the house.
"No one, sister,"
said Eugenia Lincoln. She closed the door very firmly in Stella's face. Stella sighed. She put her hands deep in her pockets. It was cold out, and it was getting dark, and she felt the tiniest bit less joyful. General Washington, Eugenia Lincoln's cat, appeared out of the gloaming. He rubbed up against Stella's legs. Stella bent down and scratched his ears.
"Meow,"
said General Washington.
"I have an idea,"
said Stella to the cat and the pig.
"Let's see if Horace Broom wants to sing with us."
Horace Broom was in the front yard of his house on Glockenspiel Drive. He was looking up at the sky through his telescope.
"Would you like to join us in caroling, Horace Broom?"
said Stella.
"Would you like to spread joy?"
"Spread joy," said Horace. "You can't spread joy. Joy is not butter. Besides, I'm busy. I'm researching planetary movement right now." Stella sighed. She put her hands deeper into her pockets.
"Do you think just one person can carol?"
Stella said to the pig and the cat as they walked on together in the darkness.
"Wink,"
said Mercy.
"Meow,"
said General Washington. "Okay," said Stella. "I'll try." She began to sing, "Joy to the world." She sang at the top of her lungs. She sang with as much joy as she could muster. The pig looked over at Stella, and then she put her snout up to the stars and let out a strange sound. It wasn't an oink. It wasn't a squeal. It was a noise full of hope and wonder and longing. It was almost melodious. Oinky, oink, oink.
Mercy, said Stella. You're caroling.
The pig kept singing. General Washington threw back his head and let out a long meow. From the darkness there came a loud whinny.
Maybelline, said Stella. What are you doing here?
The horse let out another whinny.
Where's Leroy Ninker, the cowboy of your heart? Let's sing while we search for him.
Stella sang,
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
and the pig and the cat and the horse sang with her.
Oink, 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 oink. Meow.
It was very loud and very joyful and not very musical. When they finished, the world was hushed and still. In the sudden quiet, Stella heard someone calling her name. Stella! Stella! Frank was walking toward her. Behind him were Mr. and Mrs. Watson and Baby Lincoln and Horace Broom. And when they saw Stella, they all started to sing, God rest ye merry gentlemen. Out of the darkness came a happy whoop. Woo-hoo! I am a merry gentleman, shouted Leroy Ninker, for I have found my horse. He put his hat over his heart and started to sing, Let nothing you dismay. Stella joined in, and so did the pig and the cat and the horse. When the song was done, Horace Broom said, Did you know that there is such a thing as music of the spheres? It's the song the universe makes, the sound of the planets and the stars moving together. That's the theory, at least.
Oh, I feel as if I can hear that music sometimes,
said Baby Lincoln.
Yippee-yi-yo,
said Leroy Ninker in a quiet voice.
I'm hungry,
said Mr. Watson.
and I'm afraid to say that my fruitcake didn't turn out very well.
Oh, but there's always toast, said Mrs. Watson. I could make us all some toast.
Mercy oinked very loudly.
Oink, oink.
They walked together back to Deckawoo Drive. Leroy Ninker led Maybelline. Stella and Horace walked together beside the horse.
Oh, the stars are brighter than they were, said Stella to Horace Broom. I think we made them brighter by singing together.
No, said Horace. It's just that it's darker now, and they seem brighter.
Maybe, said Stella.
Should we sing some more?
said Mr. Watson. Eugenia Lincoln stood in the lighted doorway of her house with her accordion. She watched them all come toward her. Softly, joyfully, she began to play Silent Night. Silent night, holy night. The accordion music reached all the way up to the listening stars.
Oh, I knew something miraculous would happen,
said Stella quietly to herself. They stood together, and above their heads, above Deckawoo Drive, above the tired and hopeful earth, stars were shining, shining, shining down. Oh, look at that. They've all gone back for some toast. That sounds a nice snack, I think. A very merry Christmas. A great way to remember that singing for others can spread some joy and cheer. No matter what you do to put a smile on your face this season, I hope you have lots of fun. Until we read again, adios amigos. Goodbye.